He went 4-3 up. Trump dug deep to win the last of the afternoon. Can he do so again and go into the interval this evening back all square?
One.
Yeah, great opener. Tight underneath the ball cushion. He's okay for the brown.
Five. Six.
Yeah, the last couple of frames, he did all the donkey work and then missed the important ball. He's got to find to be a little bit more clinical once again. Gesticulating. He's sort of fighting with himself and fighting with the cue ball at the moment, which is not a good sign. He's just got to forget about it. Just try and manage it as best as he can. Otherwise, it could affect him for the rest of this final, and it could cost him.
Yeah, and there's a positional constant. When he's unhappy, it's because he's overscrewing.
When these balls come out of the box, there's always a sheen on them, and it's almost like a polish. And what happens is they spin a lot more when there is that little bit of polish on them. You see how shiny they are with the cue ball. It was only changed now this time. Is he going to be full-blooded and open that pack up as quickly as possible? Here we go. And he hit it absolutely perfect. Well, he couldn't have played that any better.
18.
That's a shot that our colleague Stephen Hendry brought into the tour's repertoire. That was on the nose.
$19.
Yeah, most players would play that with a lot of deep screw, the split, but he just like stunned it with a lot of stun and power. Held the cue ball beautifully.
$24.
Yeah, let's have a look at the split again. Just he hits the pink full ball, which you have to do, but just look at the cue ball, just stunning away from the pack. Beautiful control. Oh, needs to slow up. It's not great.
30.
Once again, he's just getting himself into a little bit of a pickle here. This cue ball is
not out of the woods yet.
There's pressure on this shot. particularly what's gone before. No, no, there was pressure on it.
Judd Trump, 31.
Just one shot and just ran astray from the blue. And it just snowballs,
One.
and once again enforced and just not scoring enough, which is very unlike him.
Yes, and Wilson quite happy to be the predator, the man who capitalises on Trump's mistakes. Everything is there for him, but a word of caution, everything was there for Trump.
Eight.
It has been a golden season as world champion for
15.
Kyren Wilson. But I think for all he's achieved, victory here tonight would be the sweetest
16.
of the lot.
$23. $24.
Yeah, that'd be a long 15 minutes or so for Judd Trump if he were to lose this frame. Lots to contemplate.
Yeah.
Because he could have really won all 4 of these frames had he been at
30.
his efficient best.
Thank you. 31.
For a heavy scorer like Trump, there's nothing worse than getting in first with
48.
gilt-edged chances and not converting frame after frame.
39.
As for Wilson, he's gleefully hurting the man in the chair.
Yeah, you can sense the body language is better as well from Wilson. Bouncing around the table.
46.
Full of beans, full of confidence.
47. $54.
So red colour red required
55.
for a 7-5 lead.
$62. Yeah.
Trump will have very little hope because he's using the rest.
Thank you.
If he'd missed
62.
that one, Ken, there would have been questions in the house.
$69. $71. $74.
Let's not forget, he was cruelly unlucky to lose the opening frame of the evening.
Kyren Wilson, 74.
But he's won the next three. Last year, Kyren Wilson didn't qualify for the Players' Championship. Now he's only a trio of frames away from being crowned champion. Wilson leads Trump
Kyren Wilson needs
7-5.
3 more frames to win the Players' Championship for the very first time. He leads Judd Trump by 7 frames to 5, but right off the world #1 at your peril. In the commentary box to take us through to the conclusion of the match are Alan McManus and David Hendon. But first, to reintroduce the players, here's our MC, Tahir Hadjat.
Thank you, Jill. Snooker fans, please welcome back into the arena your finalists, Kyren Wilson, Judd Trump, and your referee, Leo Scullion.
Yeah, okay.
The final
Thank you.
act of
Thank
this
you.
compelling drama, and there's
13.
plenty of
Judd Trump
time
to break.
for more twists and turns. It's been a very edgy evening. Of course, they had a good 3.5 hours between the first session and the final session. I think if they had just carried on this afternoon, it probably would have carried on as it was this afternoon, free-flowing, lots of breaks, but mistakes have crept in, bits of luck have played their part. Neither player seemed happy with the cue ball. The fact is Wilson has made his move and he's 7-5 up. In the background, aside from the fact it's a big final with 150,000 to the winner, it's the fact they really want to beat the other, and there's nothing wrong with that. This is a proper rivalry, world #1, world #2, the 2 players of the season, and that is adding to it as well.
1. Four. 5.
It's one of those finals where there'll be no positives for whoever finishes runner-up. You know, sometimes there are, a player low down the rankings or someone who's been out of form, hasn't been in a final for a while. Whoever loses is going to be really disappointed. Judd Trump is determined it won't be him. Trying to really fire back now and rediscover some of the great play we've seen from him this week.
13.
He just can't get a handle on his cue ball at the moment, Judd.
20.
It's been the story of his evening, getting plenty of chances. And so many reds on offer to play on. This might be a blessing in disguise. You clearly see the red goes. If he can knock that in, it might Just bring him into action.
Well, an ill-timed noise off, I'm sure, accidental. You kind of always want to see the player pop the ball, whoever it is, when they've been put off, really for the sake of the audience as well. So it's a recovery for control of this white. Remember, it's already been changed, the cue ball.
$28. 29.
Just taking an extra few seconds on this visit because of the
46.
urgency of the scoreboard at the moment. He's got to start making things happen if he's going to be victorious at the end of the evening. But this is better.
$43. 44.
One thing Judd Trump knows how to do is win. He's looking for his 17th ranking title in this decade, the 2020s. 17th, the nearest in the decade is Neil Robertson on 9.
$51.
Yeah, only had one break of over 50 in the previous 7 frames.
$52.
Well, has the cue ball travelled far enough
59.
to even attempt to cut back red? Just reaching the critical point of the break.
$60.
He's so good at recovering, isn't he? We've seen it several times this week when he's not in ideal position. So this is his highest break of the session, but he wants to make sure it's a frame-winning break now.
Well, I don't want to be critical of his shot choice, but all right, he might have a 3-ball plant to middle, but he knew nothing about it if he does do. But the cannon from blue to red's there, he definitely played the cannon on the wrong one. He wanted to play on the pink full ball or even the red left of it. And here's a gift.
Judd Trump, 65.
Oh, look at this for a chance he's left, Kyren.
One.
Remember, Trump led 2-0. So if Wilson can make the clearance here, he'll have won 8 of the last 11 frames.
Yeah. 7. Thank you. 8. $14. 15.
He's kept this same pace as well, hasn't he? He's had it all tournament, even when we've got to, you know, a pressure moment
21.
in the final, really a big moment. Still just getting on with it, not hesitating. Sign of confidence.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, here, I mean, there's a choice of two. Most players would be playing the one to right corner. Kyren doesn't even think about missing.
No.
I mean, he might change. I mean, he probably should do. Most would.
$22. $28. 29. I'll get it.
Well, the long spider there was dislodged from its moorings. Just as he was about to play that shot.
Not absolutely perfect.
56.
So this is really you would think the last major hurdle. Pot it, get just low straight on blue. Maybe just playing. Yeah, couldn't do, so just playing pink. So we know he has the power. No problem, get back up for yellow. Almost with this shot, I quite like, almost mentally playing for a high blue off the spot. That's okay.
43.
So Judd Trump had those 2 big flukes in the first frame of the night. You kind of see that and you think, well, it's going to be his night.
45.
But just hasn't made the breaks. He's had the chances. Lost position there, went for that 3-ball plant to middle and left the lot on.
48. $52. 57.
Cue ball needs to travel. It's not going to be easy to get right in behind this. Black is going to be lots of right hand side. Check the cue ball. He's going round the table.
$63.
And this isn't a sitter either. Oh, what a big shot in the final.
Black for an 8-5 lead.
Middle of the pocket.
On the frame.
That is a class clearance from Kyren Wilson. Big disappointment for Judd.